enjoying the vibes and you're enjoying the tunes, but it is now time to tune in to the Black Love Club.
It's the Black Love Club. We on the radio. Turn the speaker up. You could tune in the live stream, but vibing and dial into the station. Join the conversation. Hey yo, say the Black Love Club is on the radio. You could tune into the live stream, just vibing and dial into the station. Hey yo, yeah, the Black Love Club, we on the radio. And we are back. Welcome back to the Black Love Club, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. People are getting in the room. I'm so excited. Of course, it's me, Nikki Talks. And we have Richard Roots.
We in here.
And Echo Prime.
In the building. Let's go.
Yes, everybody's in the building. I'm sorry, y'all. Look. I had music going, but I never even clicked the thing, so that's like weird. But what's up?
We
what's
forgive
up?
you, DJ.
Thank you. We're back. It is another Wednesday. Today's 6:00. As always, the Black Love Club. We're in here, y'all, and we got a great topic for you guys tonight. And as always, I'm gonna start off with Edgar Prime today, because he just looked very I catch him really off guard. But how was your week, Prime?
Man, I had a good week. All things considered, just spending time with family. I've been working on the book, having a lot of conversations with men. It's interesting, Richard Roots. You know, it shouldn't be surprising because you actually were the one who was like, you had read one of my messages, and I think it was titled "You Can't Love Her on Your Knees."
Yeah,
and you was like, "Man, this would make for a good book," and
yeah.
So I started writing it from there.
And is that what you titled the book to?
Yes, that's what I titled the book.
Oh, look at that! Come on, I inspired that.
I will put you in the credits.
Okay,
but when I started writing it, I was really thinking that this book would be more catered toward young men or the men who are like struggling in relationships, you know, struggling to navigate the dating landscape. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really so much thinking about married men in their current relationships. But what I've noticed here, and I want to say over this past couple of weeks, it seems like this conversation kind of comes up more and more. Maybe that's just how it works. Is more and more people have just been kind of reaching out to me and just random conversations. We've been talking about it, and they've been like, "Man, we need this book yesterday."
Yeah.
From, you know, some of the different topics that we're going to discuss, the different theories and the thought processes that I'm putting into this book. And so it's just kind of put a little extra wind in my sails to, you know, get in there, get the work in and get this thing out and rolling out. So,
well, a hand clap to you, Prime.
Thank you. Thank you.
A hand clap to
I am
Prime.
ready for this book.
We're putting out a book, you know, that's awesome. You know, we can't wait to have you as a guest on the show to talk about it.
Oh, what? You gonna invite me back? Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes, but thank you guys for all tuning in, y'all. We got a really, really, really great show lined up. But Richard Roots, I want to know, how's your week been going?
How is my week? My week was good, y'all. It was up and down. I had some up and downs, and I think for the first time, me and my wife want to talk about something different. But we had after our Disney World trip,
Mm-hmm.
I got sick, and I was sick real bad, but my wife nursed me back to health.
Aww.
So I'm good, y'all. No cold, no sniffing, none of that stuff. She did her thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, you were sick. You know, he was like, I don't know what's wrong. He was like to the point where he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go check out at the doctor just so I can know what's wrong, so we can know how to treat it. Because we do herbs and teas all the time, y'all. So he went, he found out what was wrong, and he was like, "That's exactly what you said it was."
Yeah. She diagnosed me with Google.
I did. I
That's
Googled,
dangerous.
And she was
but I
right
was
though.
right.
Okay.
She was
All
right.
right.
Now I think it's dangerous if you're taking if you're using
Like,
pharmaceutical drugs or something like that after you diagnose somebody. But she was using natural herbs.
Hmm.
So these natural herbs didn't have any side effects.
Right.
So all it's doing, like she gave me herbs to pull up mucus. And as I'm going to the doctor, I'm spitting up so much mucus.
Ah, that's such
So-
an inviting thing to imagine. I'm happy you shared that with
For me, it was like it was jubilating for me, but for you, I can imagine how that is for your stomach.
but yeah, he was. It was the herbs I gave him, man. I gave him some herbs, and it had him getting it out. But I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm
Kobe.
happy.
Cody called her the witch doctor.
I know he called. He said, "What's your witch's brew?"
Which
Yeah, but look, them herbs be working, y'all. But look, my week, it was definitely because he was sick, and I was like, doing that
Oh,
right
wow.
to him, and
He
then
was like-
I had got sick, but it didn't last long because I was already like. I was like, well, since you're not feeling well, I'm gonna be drinking teas. I also gave the kids teas too because I was like, just in case it passed along. Normally, it don't pass from us to the kids, but just in case, we want to be good. But then I had got sick, and
yeah, she was treating me like I had COVID or something. She treated me like I was
Like
second
you had the
class
plague or
citizen in my
something.
own house. Yeah, I told her, I said, look, the sick is gonna get who it won't.
I
And,
know
and it came for I may have spoken into existence. I'm gonna take my lick on this one.
he did.
I just didn't like being treated like that. So when she got sick, I ain't say I told you so, but she felt it though.
But yeah, definitely, I got sick, and but it wasn't bad at all. So I did feel like bad for like one day, but then I was like good, and then we went on about our lives, just kept trucking and kept moving, right? Because
Yeah.
it's been busy. Like we've been busy. I've been in like so many meetings. It's been crazy, and been doing like a lot of work editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
there is something that we a part of the week is that we've all been working on something.
Oh,
we drop it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait till we drop that, y'all. Y'all gonna find out soon.
Oh, we're gonna keep it a secret.
I thought he was gonna say a little bit more than that, but I guess
Yeah,
Oh, I
we've
don't
been
know.
overruled.
I don't know.
We've been overruled.
okay. No.
Shout out
that
to
is-
April. April said the show is always fire. And we
Yes.
love you, April. It surely is. I love it.
Appreciate you.
Thank
And
you,
peace and
guys.
blessings to Kyle, Herbalist Table, Mickey, Minnie, and everybody else who's
It's
tuning in on the
building.
radio.
Yes,
If
thank
you are tuning in
guys.
for the first time, this is the Black Love Club. You guys, and this radio show is for you. We're here to show people that Black love still exists while we tackle some of the greatest topics in our community. Let's get it.
Yeah, so let's get into the news. So y'all lately in the news, let me go through this. I'm thinking like which one should I say first, right? That's what I've been in my head. Like which one should I go first? But I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Would you take an AI implant to shorten your sentence? Like if you were sentenced to jail, would you take an AI implant to shorten your sentence?
Okay, what's the implant do?
So this is what it does. So it is a process where it's like a fast track rehabilitation, right? And basically it's like it's going to give you fake AI memories and stuff like that. And then it will create these artificial memories, and then it will tailor it to your individual needs and severity of your crime. And your sentence will happen in a matter of minutes versus like years.
So I won't be able to commit a crime again?
That's what it says, but
Nah, I wouldn't do it.
Uh,
I wouldn't do it.
okay, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But before we tackle that, so are you saying that it's going to give me artificial memories on what my sentence would be like? So I'm just experiencing the sentence faster, or is it like changing my memories after I
changing
get
your-
out of
it's
prison?
changing like your thoughts.
My like someone's getting in there programming my thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just some real Blade Runner kind of stuff. Nope, you're not
Yeah,
about to hijack my body.
I think it's definitely crazy.
Can I say
April said
why I
no,
say
I
that?
would not.
Oh, we already
yeah.
know.
So
Go
no,
ahead.
he said we
Say-
already know.
Mr. Thrower in the trunk.
No,
Ooh, sorry.
Whoa.
That's a plug
Yo.
for something that we ain't
Yo,
released yet.
So, and he took the story, made it a whole lot worse.
I know.
All right, but all right. So the reason I say that is because I like the idea of knowing that I could have committed a crime, but I didn't.
That didn't make it any
That's
better.
What?
free will.
True.
You lose your free will. Like everybody's like, if you haven't if you haven't committed a crime
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have the capacity to commit a crime, then you didn't do anything good.
Now that I agree with you on.
You know-
I make that argument about being gentle.
Right. So I mean, I think when we start like playing with life like that, we're really playing with our free will.
Yeah.
I can
100%.
honestly say I applied a lot of discipline so that I don't commit crimes.
Mm.
You know,
So Mickey Minnie, she said no because you would never be the same. April says no, I would not because what if it malfunctions? Mickey Minnie also said your mental state of mind will be all screwed up. You won't be able to tell what's real from fake news, which is true. I feel like that's definitely something real crazy. But there is a company, and I was like looking this up just to make sure it was true because I seen a TikTok
sound like
video.
Black Mirror.
Yes, it definitely seems like a Black Mirror
Mhm.
episode. But it's called Cognify, and that's the purpose of it. It's to give you a rapid, potentially completing a sentence in minutes or hours compared to years in a traditional prison. And these memories are generated by using AI, and it will be designed to trigger empathy, remorse, and a sense of the harm caused to the victim. So I guess in a way you still will remember the crime that you did, but it's I guess to kind of, like we were talking about this yesterday, like people be killing people but they feel no remorse. So I guess it's to make sure you feel remorse, and I guess like such a great sense that you never want to do it again. So
So
it's crazy. Herbalist table also says he wouldn't he likes to be in full control, which is I think is kind of weird. I would never want to go under just because
that's what I
like
was saying.
April
Like you lose your
said,
free will.
it can
Mhm.
malfunction and some it'd be like the commercials on the Black Mirror episode. And so it'd be crazy. But in other news, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there was a Black woman who was attacked over a parking spot. Um, up in Dane, up in I think it was Queens, New York. I'm sorry, y'all, I forgot where she was, but she was definitely attacked over a parking spot. Now it was crazy because it was two men and one of the man's mother who attacked her. And it was really, really crazy because there was like a lot of people were in the comments saying all these men were standing around watching her be attacked, and it was crazy. So the video is definitely out there on TikTok, and how it happened over a parking spot. They had put the garbage can in a parking spot, and then that's when all of a sudden she's like, hey, I always park here, can you move the garbage can? And they were like, no, we're not doing it. Turned into like a 45-minute type of argument. They called her all type of names. One of the names they called her was a monkey. And these were like Puerto Ricans, I believe, and she called them an immigrant. And after that, they came and swung. The dude, who is a transgender male, well, I actually don't know how to say it. He's a man, but yeah. So, because I was like, wait, well, how do you say
I like
it?
how you copped out at the end of it. You was like, he's a man, but
But he was like, or
he's woman presenting.
Yes, presenting. So he was just he like hit her first, and it was just like really crazy. Then his mother got in it, and then there was somebody we assumed was the brother at first, but found out that was just another neighbor,
Mhm.
and they even ripped her braid out. It was really crazy, like a really crazy fight, and that was insane. And
So
what's your thoughts?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to see the video, so
Mhm.
I don't know how much information on this you can give me. But so was this like a situation where any other parking space was just substantially far away from where she was going, or like was this like in the middle of the night? Like, what was the urgency behind this parking space other than, well, that's where I usually park?
So I guess based on, like it's like a street parking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is normally where I guess she normally parks at, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they were placing a garbage can there to like hold their spot or
Mm-hmm.
hold the spot for somebody else. Sometimes people could do
Right.
that. And this is like, I don't know if it was Queens or something like that, but New York, you got those street parkings and like in Brooklyn and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, hey, if you get in, you got that spot, or else
Right.
you got to go park real far. So I think it was just like, hey, I'm not parking that far. I live right here. This spot is, for me, or whatever the case may be, or I always park here. So it's like, but I thought it was just really ridiculous that they would, it would be so much like animosity over a parking spot. Like, why couldn't y'all just give it a parking spot? Y'all wasn't using it. And it seems as if they have words often because of this thing, because ain't no way this escalated to a full blown fight. Like,
Right.
yeah.
I guess my question is that, being a single woman, you're on your own with 2.5 men, why would you let it kind of get to that point? Like the moment that
I just
they
realized what you said.
the moment that they made it clear that they weren't going to acquiesce to that, why keep furthering that conversation?
I don't
Like
know.
you're never gonna win the physical altercation behind that. That to me is what is most distressing. Is because I don't know enough about the situation to make an argument that she should have got the parking space. Because just because you park there all the time don't mean it's your parking space.
But I mean, hey, nobody's supposed to. It also probably is like nobody's supposed to block off a parking space too. So it's like they were, from what it looks like, and they made a video, like the aggressors made a video, and they made it seem like she was the aggressor, but like there was a whole video out there where it shows that she wasn't the aggressor. It seems as if she was just tired, she's getting off work or whatever, like, hey, I just want to get to my parking spot. That's why I say it seems like this is something that they always do. So it's like this is like probably a constant battle between the two neighbors. So it's really crazy. But there were, I believe, criminal charges put against the mother, the son, and the other guy, the neighbor that fought too.
So are these everybody involved got criminal charges?
I don't think she did. No, they took them to custody. The article didn't say that it took her to custody. I know the police came, and from what it seems like, it was like the police was in her favor. There were two other guys that came from like across the street, which is wild. They came from across the street, one with like a cane in his hand, and he was like, "Y'all let it go! Like, what are y'all doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And but there was obviously somebody recording. I don't know. They were like the best recorder, because I promise you, they kept that camera pretty steady, and it was just like, is this like a phone propped up? I don't know. It was like really, really good camera footage, or I don't know, maybe she was recording it, like, because this always happens. And so, but thankfully, it just, I think it's crazy that they would attack this woman over something like this and call names and stuff like that, because it's like, well, what do you really think about us when you see that? But then other news, Michelle and Barack has been in the news, and there's been so many crazy things going on. They were saying that there was like a lot of divorce rumors, just because she didn't show up to the inauguration and of Trump, and then also because I guess they just haven't seen them out together or whatever. So, and she has a podcast with her brother Craig and stuff like that. So it was like a lot of, crazy divorce rumors. There was even rumors that him and Jennifer Aniston were like dating, and they were like a couple. It's been like really, really crazy. I don't know if you guys seen this stuff, but it definitely has been out here. It is. I just came across it just the other day, and I was like, what? But he came on her show, and I didn't get a chance to watch the episode yet, so I am looking forward to watching it.
Oh yeah, you do like the Michelle Obama podcast.
I do like the Michelle Obama podcast.
You got some weird taste. You got some weird taste.
It is. You never listened to it, huh?
I watched. Yeah.
You watched the first episode.
Yeah, it was tough. It was rough.
Because it was the first. Now her brother, I mean, he is not like, I guess, as charismatic as she is, but because it's just like his first time doing stuff like this. But I think it was actually, I enjoy it. I enjoy the guests they have on. It's a good time. It's a good time.
No, they
it's
both about as charismatic as some sandpaper.
It's I like Michelle. I do. I enjoyed her book and everything. Whatever. But they came on there and, basically they put the rumors to rest. Like, no, just because you don't see. And I think that's like another thing. Sometimes, I guess when you're that big, sometimes you may not see them together. And sometimes they may spend time apart because she's traveling back and forth because I think the studio, they were moving the studio around, but she travels back and forth to the studio. Obviously, he has other things that he's doing as well. So it's like, when you're that busy and I guess you're that big and you have that many things that you're doing, no, you probably won't see people always together. I know it probably would look crazy if people didn't see me and my husband together because we're like always together and our kids are always together. So they'll probably be like, what's going on? But there is nothing going on in that neck of the woods. They're good. They're together. And yes. So
before we move on,
go ahead.
Amor, I just want you to know, love, I was just trying to get context. I was not coming for the lady. But stay tuned because you might have an actual gripe with me later.
Oh.
Now why he throwing guns?
Bruh, he was like, I'm not gonna just be nice. I'm gonna be nice and throw a little savagery in it at the same time.
In his prime way. His prime way. So, put your roots.
Yeah,
what we got going on today.
Speaking of, I think the reason he said that is because this is going to be an interesting topic.
Very interesting topic.
So the topic today is sex overrated? I want to know what do you guys think? Do we place too much of a value on sex?
There was a comment already about this. Someone made a comment. I think it was Herbalist Table. We're gonna pull that up and see what he said. Let's see. Yep. So Herbalist Table said is definitely overrated. People often replace true fulfillment with sex, but the true fulfillment is raising a successful family.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Okay. What y'all think? Sex is overrated? And when we say sex is overrated, we're not talking about like is it good or is it bad? But what we're talking about, like discipline with the HIV ratings, cases rising and different things like that. Like, are we a culture of people who lack self-discipline? Like, what is going on? Especially in the movies and TVs, we see sex there's like, it's refreshing when I see a movie or a TV show that like they didn't have a sex scene. Like, it's like really refreshing. So what's your thoughts on that?
So I think another way that sex is like overrated is like, even in like our relationships, we would have sex, even like that would be the way that we will make up our arguments. Like, it's just like, okay, we had a bad day, we got in a big bad argument, we never came to a conclusion, but we got some good sex, so we gonna get that in, and then we're gonna make up like that. But I don't think
who does that.
See, I've never I've
you
heard
mean like people in general?
Hey, people in general. Oh, you like
Hey,
I was like, just clear the air, clear the
Like,
air.
we don't do that. We communicate.
Like, hey, how we handle that?
No, so
Wait
I
a
think
minute.
I think people don't really realize how damaging that is, to our community when we do that. we never truly learn how to communicate. Like people say, don't go to bed angry. Now I do have some pushback for
Yeah, I
that.
disagree with that.
Yeah, but I do see where they were going with it. It's just the idea that if you go to bed angry, then you never really come to a conclusion.
Right.
So y'all just gonna keep on having sex to make up for all of the bad arguments y'all had, but y'all never came to a conclusion.
Yeah, I've never understood that because like it's different. As men, we don't necessarily need to like the person in order to have sex with them.
Mhm.
So that's one thing. But if we're in a relationship and I'm gonna say that I care about you, that I love you, to me, it is a false representation of that to if we are at odds to then have sex.
Mhm.
Because it's almost as if I'm just trying to pretend that don't count just to get back to the part of this that I like. We'll just put the other stuff to the side. To me, that doesn't show proper respect to either one of us,
Mhm.
because we should be connecting in this experience, not avoiding ourselves in order to get intimate. And I think, honestly, the reason I would say sex is overrated is because I think a lot of times what we're searching for is intimacy. And we settle for sex because, unfortunately, sex nowadays is a lot easier to get than genuine intimacy.
Mhm.
Yeah, look, so the comments are definitely going off. Kyle says sex shouldn't be a fixer upper. Like people cover up their issues with sex, nothing is being worked on. There are so many other intimate ways to share with someone, with one another, no value in the relationship. And April says sex is overrated when it takes precedence over the emotional connection between the two people. So yeah, this is like really some good stuff. Also, Amore says sex is definitely overrated. It's easily accessible, it's weaponized, and women are always way easier than they were back in the day. Men just want everybody.
Right.
Explanation
And we
mark.
talked about it before too. Like, so real good sex in the beginning of a relationship
Mm-hmm.
could cause you to overlook red flags.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because like now you're stimulated by this person, you're infatuated by this person. So it's just like, especially if you feel like you're not gonna be able to get what you just got from anybody.
So would you say you've experienced it as a man?
I see what you're doing.
Wait, hold on.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to use
I'm
me
just
for the
asking a
alley.
question.
You're right. So it's more so. I would agree. I know what you're saying. It's more so of a woman's thing. That's true. It is more so of a woman's thing than a man's. I agree.
Because like the reason I would say it that way, the reason I bring that up is because we have they talk about that. Can I say that on the radio? Can I say post-nut clarity on the radio? Can I say that?
I guess yeah.
All right, I already said it
You
now.
said
So
it. I mean, like-
it's happened now.
I was like,
but-
he asked, could you say what he just said?
But that said, we have that experience after it's over where everything kind of resets and we kind of see things clearly. That carnal urge to procreate goes away, and we're kind of left with how we really feel about that person next to us. So I think for men, we're a lot less prone to kind of get sucked into that, oh man, that first time was amazing kind of a thing. Now that might not, I'm not saying that don't mean that we won't come back, but that's not why we gonna fall in love with you. But I do think that like as we mentioned a few times, that's one of the risks that definitely women run into messing with a man who's not quality. You might get into that situation and is too good, and now you're stuck in a 4-year toxic relationship. And now after that eventually is all over with, now you're dealing with the healing and trying to move forward with your life afterwards. So I think that definitely makes it overrated in that regard.
You know what, y'all? Just kind of a side note, but it's on the topic. Do y'all know the name of the woman who made that song "Freak Like Me" with Tupac?
Freak Like Me with Tupac.
If you know
I
it,
wasn't
please put it in
aware
the
of
chat.
it.
But it was like it was like somewhat of an anthem for us. It's that song where he's like, activate your hips and push your,
Okay.
you
All
know,
right.
but she killed the chorus. It's real catchy and everything. But
Adina Howard.
that's her name, Adina. Yeah. So she ended her marriage in divorce because her sex drive was too high for her husband.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never heard nothing like that. But how do you feel about that? How do y'all feel about that?
Kyle say, revoke my black card. I don't know it. Look, I had to Google.
No, says you. Trust me. If you hear it, you're gonna know it. Trust me. Look it up. You're gonna know it when you hear it. You're gonna be like, oh, that's the song.
That's not the first time I've heard of anything like that, and I don't know if it's related to menopause or not, but I have heard that when women was like they hit that after cougar stage, that some of them ramp up dramatically and other of them go down.
Okay, so let me give you some context. You may need to know who she is, a little bit about her. So when she made that song, she said she has the sex drive of a teenager.
Right.
So he married her knowing this is the kind of woman he had. But in that song, she's like, yeah, that's the song. April know it. Freak Like Me, Adina Howard. So in the beginning of the song, I mean, from all the way in the song, she's like, I want it in the morning and at night. That's what the song is literally about, like how crazy her sex drive is. So now when she gets married, they get in a relationship. They've been in a marriage for I don't know how long, but it was for a pretty long time, and they ended it because of that.
I would be concerned about if there was maybe possibly some trauma that was going. Like obviously, we don't know this woman intimately, obviously,
right?
But I would wonder if there's more going on behind the scenes as to why she's kind of that hypersexual. But it kind of goes to that argument that a woman's sexuality to a certain degree needs some form of restriction, and all religions across the globe have always placed restrictions on the sexuality of women. And this is I think an example of one of those reasons, because you can end up in a scenario where that boundary is unchecked, and then you end up ruining something that's good for you. Like you're already successful. You got married to the man you in love with, but because this part of you is so out of control, which is only gonna be for this moment anyway. Like you gonna blink and then that period of your life is over with, but you never gonna get that husband back. You never gonna get that family back. Yeah. And so that's part of, I think, why those restrictions are kind of in place. And I think that's part of why multiple partners or a lot of partners is dangerous, because it brings in that whole comparison thing. Comparison's the thief of joy. If you have very few partners, you have very few to compare against. So you're more able to be satisfied. But if you've tasted everything, it's really hard to pick something to eat to stick with for the rest of your life.
Yeah. When I was listening to their interviews, and man, it seemed like they really, do love each other even after the divorce. I don't that's when I feel like, like you prioritize sex too much when you're willing to break up a long marriage because you feel like you're not getting enough.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. How many men are going through sexless marriages?
That's different.
Families.
But that's different though.
But Adina Howard is getting out of her marriage because her man can't keep up.
Right. That's true. Yeah. I did actually think about that, but that is different though. I'm not talking about a sexless marriage though. Now, if she said she wasn't getting none, I understand that.
Well, I'm talking about the sacrifice. I'm talking about doing it for the family.
Right.
Like there's men
who would do it for the family. And that's true. That's
sexless marriages.
That's true.
And
it's more prominent with men.
Right.
Right. I get it.
Yeah. But no, I think it is true just to think about what traumas has somebody experienced, because normally, and it's I mean, it's I guess it's a good thing, but it's also, I guess, a bad thing too, because like what traumas has she experienced that made her that way. But at the same time, it's like we have to. I guess you can't be just so focused on that because I'm like, dang, what you doing throughout the day? Like, are you not doing
Like,
anything? Are
you
just
don't got
happy?
anything else to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, because like I don't know, they mustn't have kids or something. But it's just like that is a lot. I mean,
Yeah, what's
to
funny
divorce
is like
over it
the
is
community,
crazy.
our community was like praising her, and it was like, yeah, yeah. I mean, if he can't meet her needs, you gotta go. It's just like,
But it's like you
come on
left
now,
a
this,
good man. Like I think that's kind of crazy if you got a good man just to go hop around like with random dudes, and it's just like I don't know if y'all have heard, but the HIV cases have been rising.
yeah. Did you hear?
I
In
did.
like
I
places
heard.
like Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
Texas,
I
and a
think in
couple other
Texas, like
places.
they were talking about, it's so bad that babies are literally being born with chlamydia in their eyes. They're coming
Oh.
out blind. It's
What?
so bad right now.
Damn.
Ooh,
Dang.
that's ooh. Gotta take a
But-
break.
We not
It was
laughing
the
at
way
that, y'all.
he said it though. But
No,
but it's like it's also like dang, like
Man, that's oh man.
Why you
that's-
showing me? She put the camera on.
I was supposed to come back to me,
I'm
but
trying to
then
pull myself together.
I was supposed to put myself back. But yeah, no, the HIV cases are rising, and it's really, really honestly, it's really sad to see that because I think we are a people now with Western society. I don't know if this is anybody else, but this is definitely Western society where we are, I feel like, are over sexualized. Just like I said earlier, the movies are like
Insane.
what they say is like soft porn, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, and look, April says, so I looked it up and it says that the impact on Freak Like Me was a story of sexual liberation, which is examined her personal journey. So it's like, and even like that, the sexual liberation of women is going on, which is like, I feel like it's making women a little too loose, right? Like, loose.
Interesting terms are used.
Loose.
Interesting word usage.
No, but back in the
Interesting word usage.
like back in the day,
I
I
don't
think they used
disagree
to
with you.
call
I'm
people
with you.
loose, right? They were like, "Oh, she loose," right? So that's what they used to say back in the day. But I'm just saying, it's making women just like,
No pun intended.
yeah, there's definitely no pun intended. But it's like there's like this whole sexual liberation thing that's going on that's just making women out here being fast and easy, and like that men don't honor that. Like as a woman, you want to be honored. Like you want to be treated like a queen. You don't want to be treated just like, oh yeah, I can get her anytime, and you feel like that's gratification for you because he's coming around.
You know what?
for
It's
that.
it's our music. You Glorilla, she made that song. I know you haven't heard it. Y'all probably haven't heard it, but if y'all did, it's called Auntie Annie. And in this song, she basically says she's boasting about sleeping with a man's whole family.
His whole
His whole
family.
family.
She taking down the family tree.
And she was like, "Don't call me sus because I'm trying to sleep with you. I'm trying to sleep with your daddy, your uncle. I'm your Auntie Annie." So that's you can't make this up.
That's
But
wild.
the music is like this. Even like Cardi B, after she went through her divorce, you can see all these videos going across social media where she's like, in one of her raps, she's like, your favorite player is in my DMs.
Oh yeah, well she was talking to her ex-husband about the current guy she had.
Right.
Playing.
So it's
Yeah.
just like we have like now we are establishing this culture where it's like get back culture. And it's just like, but I don't think women really realize just like how there are men just like really waiting for you to feel like you need some get back.
Right.
And then like for real, even as I heard that, I'm like, Cardi B thinks that he's gonna be hurt by that. Like
Right.
once y'all split up, you're no longer his woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If
But
anything, he's it makes him, if anything, he feels bad because of the way you're representing yourself.
that's
and
exactly.
that you are going to be tied to his name.
You have children.
Yes.
You
That's
have
what he is
children.
mad about.
Now, granted, I'm not saying that a man should go and be like, after nobody should be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have established a family, you have children, you are notable people now.
Mhm.
You have to live for your kids. But this this image that you're pushing out, you won't even let your kids listen to it because you know the damage.
Oh yeah, the
But you're
WAP
going to
song.
sit up there and push that image out for our kids because
Mhm.
you know they're listening to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, the over sexualization is wild, and I think that that's part of where this mindset comes from. I think there's so much sex in the media, and it's so widely accessible that I think the idea creeps into women's mind that a woman's mind that the desire for men is to have sex all the time.
Mhm.
No, men don't want to have sex all the time. We may be in pursuit of it because it's not easy to come by. But we understand we can't spend all day doing that. The only guy who can do that is, what do they call it? A hobosexual. He ain't got nothing else to
Yeah, he
do.
ain't got nothing else to do.
But
Yeah.
if you are on your purpose, if you have anything going on, you don't got time to do that every day. You ain't got time to do that all the time.
Right, right. Well,
And then
definitely
the more
not.
you do it,
Definitely not
you
like
get
Anita.
diminishing returns.
What's her name?
I mean, it's true.
No, I'm just, your wordings is always really, really funny, but it's just really crazy. But I definitely agree. It's definitely a lot that's going on, and I think one thing that I think that it ends up affecting is like the emotional intimacy of people. Like I feel like because we're so sex focused, we can't really even make a emotional connection with people. Like I feel like these women out here that are just, especially like the women out here that's doing it, because women we thrive off of emotional connection, right?
Mhm.
And it's like now if you were just sleeping with everybody else, you feel like you're getting that gratification from them just because you laid down together and you feel like maybe he's good, or even the women that they're just blocking out that very feminine part of them, the thing that makes them a woman. They're blocking that out and they're suppressing that just so that they can screw around and sleep with people.
Mhm.
So it's like, even then I believe like a lot of that is rooted in trauma as well. So
Somebody asked me a question maybe about a year ago, and this is a question that I want to revisit a lot on the show. But they asked me, how do you think it is that people could go 20 years of a to the public eye, a strong marriage, and then it ended divorce? How do you think that is? And I believe the number one reason is a lack of communication. Like what I mentioned earlier, if your relationship is centered around good sex, and that's how you're making up for arguments and stuff like that,
Right.
then eventually you're gonna get tired of that. Because you're gonna get tired of it, because you're gonna say, nah, I'm standing on business today. You ain't about to do that. Nah, you heard what I said.
Right.
Put your clothes back on. I need an answer. And then you're gonna realize, man, we never really got to know each other. It's been 20 years. Like, we can't talk. And most of the time it's really because this conversation is happening in public.
Right.
So now you feel like you have been shamed in front of people that you love and respect. So it's like sex can't make up for that.
100%. No, I think in my experience, and I'm not.
What the heck was that?
That's crazy. I wasn't about to say nothing that crazy. Hold on.
No, I didn't do anything. I have no idea.
That's a new
what
sound effect.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it was.
So in my experience, and I'm not saying I don't play into this because I had to figure out intimacy as well. But in my experience, at least when I started dating, there wasn't, the only real way I could get intimacy from a woman was through sex. And it wasn't until I got a lot older and I learned a bit more about people that I was able to say, we don't need to do that in order to be intimate.
Mhm.
And if you can't give me intimacy outside of the bedroom, we can't have a relationship
Mhm.
because we can't always go to the bedroom.
Right. I think that establish a false sense of security for us too.
Yeah.
Because like if you're really good at what you do, then you're gonna think that's all you have to do. Right? So then when the moment that person expect anything else from you, it's just like, okay, it's time for me to move to the next one. Because you have never learned how to establish yourself in a relationship.
Right. And I think it just eats away because you're if you base your relationship on something that's fleeting, something that will
Mhm.
eventually go, your relationship is always gonna be just a matter of time. It's like
Mhm.
building a house on a deck of cards. It's eventually gonna fall apart, and it just takes the right amount of circumstance in order for it to fall. That's really all it is.
Mm.
But I do want to address one thing. So someone pushed back on me, one of my favorites, that it is not hard for men to have sex. So I will say this: for a percentage of men, it is easier to get sex than other men.
20%.
20%, let's say that. But by no means is it easy for men to get sex. And I can say this honestly because I know there is a law. I think the last time they did the study about 2023, that over 30% of men were either virgins or hadn't had sex in a year. That's proof positive. It's not easy to pull off.
I heard there's a term for those men. I just found out.
Involuntarily celibate.
Yeah, but it's a shorter term, but it is involuntarily celibate. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but it is a shorter term, but that's side note. But yeah, yes.
But it is not easy because as a man, you have to do so much just to be attractive to a woman. Women only view about 20% of men as attractive and thus eligible for a relationship or to sleep with in general.
Mhm.
If you anywhere beneath that, you gonna at the best get friend zoned. You're gonna get close enough just to be depressed that you not in the game. But the rest of the guys don't even get that shot. Them the guys that's sitting in your DMs that you never gonna check. Them the guys that's at Quick Trip or whatever that you not gonna give the time of day to. That's not to say that every guy at Quick Trip is weird, but my point is those are just places where you don't really pay attention to necessarily who's behind the register. All of those men are in that same boat. A lot of them are not getting access to sex like that. So to paint it as if it's easy is just a false narrative because it's not.
Mm. But that's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't know because hey, I'm not a man, but you a man, so you definitely know. You know a general
So
amount.
I,
So yeah.
oh, you about to
But
say
Kyle say not all women prime. I be with you, but not all women.
Not all women in terms of what?
Internal. I guess it.
something?
I forgot what you had said.
Oh, I just saw herbalist
They
tables.
herbalist table say I don't know prime. All they need is money with these women. Dang, that's crazy. But it that's wild. But I think
Herbalist, you trying to get me in trouble.
I think what we do like. I want to talk about self discipline for a little bit because is it harder nowadays? I guess is it harder for people to have self discipline about themselves so that they won't basically so that you can like be celibate, you know? Is it hard for men to do that? I'm gonna ask y'all that. Is it hard for a man to just be celibate and say, you know what, I'm gonna save myself?
For the men that falls in the 20%, like Prime said, I think yeah, it is hard. Um,
I mean, the question I'd come up with is why.
why it's hard
No, I would come up as why would I be celibate?
when it's so easily accessible.
I mean, like when I think of celibacy, that's basically like a year's time where I'm saying I'm not going to pursue this thing. Why would I ever do that? Like, if I just have things going on, that's just not at the front of my situation. But if the circumstances come, why would I be celibate for? Why?
Well, okay, I'm gonna say not like celibate, but like there is a thought process, right?
Hmm.
Because somebody said that men can get it anytime, right? So if that, or and some people even think that men want it all the time, right? So I mean, we did talk about men don't want it all the time, but some people do think that men want it all the time. So, well, is it a problem that men have when they see something in front of them, they just gotta go for it? If it's flashed in front of them, if it's offered to them, they just go for it. They don't know how to say no. What is it?
I'm gonna just say this first. I think it's the fact that men want it most of the times. Most men want it more than women. So for women, that could be like, oh, he want it all the time,
Hmm.
versus the reality.
Well, I also think like women like, so here's the thing: as a woman, you don't have to work to get sex. That's why it's not an impressive feat, you know, because all you have to do is just put out an ask, and if you're around any amount of men, you gonna get somebody who's gonna take you up on that. Whereas for men, it's oftentimes not that case, and I think that there are depending upon the kind of man, if he is in that lack based mindset where he's not getting a lot of traction, a lot of motion, he's starved of that affection, then he sees his opportunity, he's going for it,
Mm-hmm.
because that might be his only shot. He's thinking that, hey, there's not too many of them, I got to take my chances where I can.
Yeah, they're going at it in the comments, and April not gonna let us forget it's prime time, but I just wanted to read Amore's because I thought this was funny. She said all women got to do is a stroke a man ego, and then boom, in the bed.
Wait. So was that before? Or, never mind.
Now
never
that
mind.
just came out.
I ain't gonna lie, men are simple. We really are simple.
Oh yeah,
I
we
don't know
most
if
certainly.
y'all saw that video when that woman was like, she ran in a stadium and she danced in front of men, and they took the stadium down literally. And I was like, yeah, they took the stadium down.
What? How did they take the stadium
I
down?
know. I'm trying to figure
You
that
got to
out.
help me
You
out.
gotta
Like, are
see
you
the
talking about like the
video.
stage?
They
or-
broke the stadium. The whole section of the stadium came. They came tumbling down.
to get to the woman?
What kind of woman was this?
Yeah, like what was she doing?
And then plot
I
twist,
think-
it was a man.
Oh,
I'm
I
trying-
think
2025.
I just think that's men being just overly sexualized.
Mm.
I think we losing it, and we have to realize this, because, like you said, it's just a woman.
Right.
It's just a woman. You should be embarrassed when your family members see you tumbling over the balcony to watch this woman.
Dude,
You just watching her.
The Bonnie Blue thing is blowing my mind. Like the fact that she put on hey, I want to sleep with 1,000 men,
Huh?
and more than 1,000 showed up.
Y'all stupid.
Bonnie
Like
Blue?
they lined
Y'all
up
stupid.
outside the building. I'm
Y'all
like, you mean to tell me you had to wait in line to
Y'all
get
stupid.
inside?
Yeah.
Then you got inside, had to wait a little bit more. You smelt those smells.
Come
you
on,
saw they
Herbalist Table
faces,
saw it. He
and
saw
still
it.
thought, I want to do this.
Yeah, that's
it
crazy.
can't be that deep. If
You-
that don't tell you it ain't easy, come on.
You saw all those bummy dudes in the line with you, and you was like, "Yeah, I want to be after him."
Wait. No, I just looked this up. That's true. Like, she wanted to sleep with 1,000 men.
Oh yeah, and then she was acting like it wasn't a big deal. But I heard here recently, like her psychological and her physical health is just like gone in the tank. Like a lot of that stuff is connected. You can really mess yourself up moving outside of what your biology is.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what?
just-
Women should be like,
That is crazy.
women
Wow.
should be like bashing her on social media, on every platform you can, because like women get upset, and I think it's fair. I agree with women, but women get upset when men look at them as sexual objects.
But they praised Amber Rose.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we should see more of women bashing her.
They can't.
Like, we not gonna stand for this. I want to see that. I want to see people standing up saying, we're not gonna stand for this, because that is true. That's crazy.
It's
1,000 men,
absolutely
and then the dummies
insane.
that stood up there in line to be in the number, to be with, that's trashy, bro.
Like that is absolutely.
Oh yeah,
disgusting.
she trash. Yep, she trash, and all the men that was in that line, the 1,000 men, they trash too.
Yeah,
But it's prime time.
I appreciate it more.
But yeah, no, seriously, it's prime time. What you want to talk about, Prime?
All right. Well, you got a post for me, don't you?
No, you sent me one.
Oh.
Nah, don't do me that. Let me get you some music while we wait, cause I didn't see it. So that means.
Well, while she doing that, let me see.
Go ahead.
I had a question I want to ask. Can emotional intimacy be just as effective as sexual intimacy?
I think it has a place.
It has a place.
I don't
right?
think it's a
replacement.
replacement for
Right.
it, because I think sex is a bonding tool
Mm-hmm.
for men and women. Obviously, it's the means of procreation too, but I think that emotional intimacy is important for the duration of a relationship.
Right.
Because that's really what's going to hold the relationship together, is your ability to be intimate outside of the bedroom.
Right.
Because oftentimes women, like I think they say, a man's attraction is in the eyes, the woman's is in her mind. So as the relationship gets longer and longer, you're not going to be able to just go into the bedroom and get the sparks going. It's going to have to start before you get there. That's where that emotional intimacy is going to play into.
And I'm happy you said that disclaimer, because I didn't want people to think that we were saying like sex is not important. But we wanted people to know that emotional intimacy is as important. Well, it is important. But when my wife and I, in the beginning of our relationship, my wife respected me. She got it, y'all. She gave us a cue. She respected me because when she said she didn't want to do it, when I was ready, I respected that.
Mm-hmm.
And because I respected that, she was like, I can see this being a long-lasting relationship. And I don't think people realize how much power that is in that too.
And being real with your decision too. So
No, I completely agree.
yeah.
All right, you got the post?
I got it, Prime.
Let's
it is
see it.
right up there. Go ahead. Can you see it?
I can't see it here. Let me see. Oh, thank you. So, women always want a man to take them as they are, but they are the ones looking for specks up and down. My dear, I won't take you as you are. Work on yo.
So
I told you more. You're gonna like me after this one. So here's the thing, and I was talking about this earlier. I hear a lot of times in our community about these healing journeys and doing this self-work and being celibate and being on your own. All of that's good, fine, and dandy. But at the end of the day, where is this journey going? We know enough now to know that chasing your career, getting the bags, ain't making you happy. It's got our women on more antidepressants than ever, more drugs than ever, more just reckless sex than ever, more kids out of wedlock than ever. And we are looking on the precipice of an epidemic where we have more single, childless women than we ever have in history. And the women aren't happy about it. It's not a day that goes by that I don't hop online and hear someone talking about, where the men at? Well, I don't see men anywhere. Why ain't the men ever talking to me? But in that same tone of voice, we get that, well, I'm doing this for me. I'm building me up. I need to know the things that I need to change within myself. And if you're not willing to accept me as I am, well, then you don't deserve me. But here's the thing, you lose in that scenario. That man can go find a woman who is on his program. You're the one who's going to be alone. And all of these healing journeys where you're doing all of this self-work, how can you figure out how to be a wife to a husband if ain't no man in the picture? How can you figure out how to be submissive if there ain't no man to be submissive to? How can you figure out how to serve if there ain't no man around? So all of this health journey, I hate to be the one to tell you, but the reason it's a never-ending journey is because it's not going nowhere. We need each other. And so the more as women you decide to double down on doing it by yourself, all you do is create a road that further leads you by yourself. Because as long as you are building and improving yourself based off of what you think, you're going to be alone. Because in order to figure out what a man needs, what a man wants, you got to be involved with the man.
Speak your mind, Prime. With that, we just gonna close. No, I'm joking.
No, 'cause I don't think that's true.
If you want to
at
call
all.
in, if you're listening on the radio, you want to call in and you want to respond to Aga Prime segment, you can call in at 918-856-3873. Make it quick. We only got a few minutes left. But
I just felt like pressing the button. But I will say this. I don't think it's I don't agree with the whole thing, but like I said, because we talked about this earlier. You
We
can't
teasing them something else.
a woman
what?
definitely can. I'll say it afterwards, or you can say it, but a woman definitely can learn how to be a wife, or even be a good candidate to being a wife, and she doesn't have to be in a relationship. Like I told you earlier,
How you going to learn how to train dogs without a dog?
but like I said, we just need a mold. Like if every woman knew how to be treat all men with respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also if women knew how to, bring peace,
Mm-hmm.
and then also if a woman just knew how to be feminine,
Right.
that
That would get you protected outside.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying that will get you a man, and that will help your relationship. That'll be a great foundation for your relationship. Everything else it has to come through a relationship. Learning your spouse and their personality has to come through a relationship.
Mhm.
Just like it with any relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever, that has to come through that friction, through that time spent together. So it's like I don't necessarily think that you have to be in a relationship just to know how to be a good wife, because other than that, how can we teach our daughters how to be good wives as children? We can teach them that now.
Through your relationship.
But they're not in a relationship, so
But
they
they're
don't.
watching yours.
Yeah, but they're just like I said. You same thing, right? That you don't have to be in a relationship to learn how to be a good wife. You don't have to be a woman you can be a woman that been through things on her healing journey and learning from other wives through whatever means that you're learning it through, but you're learning it so that you can be a good wife to your husband. Now, all that's going to be challenged and tested once you become that and you actually are in those shoes, right? I think that, but it's like, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, it's like you have to, the other part about being just having to be in a relationship just to learn all those things. I think there's things that can be learned without being a wife.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with you. And before you chime in, but I think Kevin Samuel said this. He said, how did you develop relationship skills outside of a relationship? To you, Richard Roots.
yeah. So that's why I was about to say. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to speak for her, but when we talked about it earlier, it's the perspective. The perspective is not learning relationship. What did you say? What was the question?
How do you develop relationship skills?
Relationship skills. So
without a
yeah, it
relationship?
wasn't so much about relationship skills that a woman could work on before she gets with a man. It's the woman working on herself so that she can become appealing to a man. Because if she don't work on herself, then she won't be even considered a candidate to the man, the type of man that she wants.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily but I love your perspective though, because sometimes a woman could think that her healing journey is done once she gets the man, but from your perspective, that's when it begins.
Exactly.
Now you have to learn this man, but you don't have a cookie cutter formula that's gonna please every man.
Exactly.
But I love your perspective, but I think her perspective is more so putting yourself in position to be seen by the right man. You need to work on peace. You need to work on patience. And so a woman could learn patience, just if she gets around kids alone, she gonna learn some patience.
Like she learned patience with a man now, because men are different.
No,
So what you're
no,
saying?
I
Men
was
are aggravating or something?
no.
Because
I'm
you said men are
saying-
different. I mean,
Wait,
kids.
wait.
I'm
and
saying
men.
Let me
I'm saying feminine women get
let me
frustrated
let me
with
respond
masculine
though.
men.
Let me respond though.
Go ahead.
I just had to mess with you.
I feel you.
So I've never seen her really like patient with a man before she became my friend. We got close, but I saw her patient with kids.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I'm already, it's like, okay, if she can be patient with kids, I know she has patience in her. Now, Grantley, you are correct. Patience with kids could look different for a man because her mind could be like, these kids,
You a man.
you a man. And a lot of women have grown up, a lot of women have grown up with men their age being no different from them.
hmm
Not, they're not rendered any different kind of respect or reverence or anything like that.
Right.
So when a woman gets married and she has the idea, I need to honor him as my husband, that's foreign to her, even though she has the idea, or he's the head of my house, this, that, she has an idea. But in most cases, our women haven't seen that. So I see your point, I see your perspective, but I think she's just talking about, like just making yourself a candidate.
Which I don't want to devalue working on yourself to put yourself in a better situation. I'm not saying that, but to me, that's like dressing up for a job interview. That's you can't get qualified for a job overnight, but you can make yourself presentable for a job overnight. And so what I'm saying is like if you're trying to get qualified, you need experience in that arena. You can't do that without a man. But if you have qualifications and your presentation is off, that you can really fix on your own. That you can get from
I don't
YouTube.
agree with that.
That
Because men really don't have, like, when you go survey men and you ask them what qualifies a woman,
Mhm.
what they're gonna say? All they're gonna say is the entry level stuff.
BBLs,
Well,
big hips,
nah.
well, then,
nice smile.
so everything that
I'm being facetious.
everything, but yeah,
Yeah.
even in your facetiousness, though, those are things that you can. A woman's qualified before she even gets in a relationship with you,
Mhm.
by everything you said. But everything that a man would say that would qualify a woman, it would be the things that she can come in. It's like entry level stuff.
Right.
Now, for a long lasting relationship, now we need some development.
Mhm.
But I think as far as like what qualifies, men we don't have high standards.
Well,
We want the simple things.
I don't know. I think that there is, and I think the subset of men is growing, that we are developing standards because we're coming to the realization that unfortunately it's a lot of bad apples out here.
What entry level standards are we developing?
Definitely in terms of attitude. I think in terms of attire, which is why the conversation of how women dress is being circulated more and more.
So that's one thing that a woman could work on.
That's 100% right.
Right. So that's the things that she's talking about.
But here's the thing, though. She can work on that. I don't disagree with you. But does she need 4 years to do that? Is that a journey or is that just a choice?
No, it's a journey of discovering the
because
things
like
that
when we hear these
that a
journey
man-
thing, I'm thinking we talking years, and I'm like, why are we acting like there ain't a time limit on this game? The shot clock is gonna go out.
That's facts. We do experience.
That's my concern.
We do
is
see
that we
Yeah.
do we create this never ending journey that just basically ends up with you being alone. And so I'd rather say let's cut the journey out and keep you from being alone.
Oh, Moore said we not simple. She said we not simple. You know what I mean, sis. I mean, like we don't come with a high list of demands. Even the upgraded standards he just said, it wasn't a long list of things. It's just
not
like,
a lot of it's not a long list.
Like if somebody gave me those standards and said this is what we need for you to work here, but like that's it. Like this is
just cooperative, nice.
I would think
appreciative.
Dang, I would think, dang, y'all must have had some
Attentive.
bad employees.
That's why men are raising their standards.
So I would say, man, your rules are simple. Your rules are simple. So I mean, in that sense, but yeah, I know we're not simple. So I appreciate that though. You love your black men. We can see that it's reflected in your comment.
I just want to let it be known for the first time, Amore kind of agreed with me. So I just want to
She
throw that out there.
did. You know, I was
And,
wild, but
I don't know who
everybody
said it.
agreed with you.
And I don't know who said it, but somebody said, why ain't this show 2 hours? I was wondering the same thing. But the only way we gonna get more airtime is if we get, more exposure. So I know a lot of you are already sharing the stream, but those of you who enjoy it, if y'all want to see this get bigger, share out the stream.
Yes. Also, we're requesting testimonials too.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you love the show, please give us a testimonial. It could be short. It could be short as you could say, I love Black Club. Send that to us, and we're gonna put it out there. We're gonna blast it because a lot of people would love this show. They just don't know it's here. So
you can even say you don't like Agaprom, but you log into the show. I'm still gonna give you a heart. It's cool.
Hey, please, if you don't like Agaprom, say it. We want that too. But I know y'all love him though. I know y'all love him. Some of y'all may hate him.
I had some pushback, but I'm not going to say it. But you know what? This was a really good show. But I do want you guys to go ahead and subscribe to the Black Radio on YouTube as well. And also, if you are not already liking KBOB 89.9, go ahead and like them on Facebook. And they also have a YouTube as well, KBOB 89.9, because that's who powered us. And also, there's also a lot of other amazing shows that are that come out on this throughout the week. So definitely go ahead and look at that. But yeah, y'all, this was a really good show. Even though Prime be talking his talk, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Richard, you want to close this out?
Thank you for tuning in to KBOB 89.9. This is the Black Love Club. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be looking over here, y'all. I'm looking. Thank you for tuning in. So we're just gonna wrap it up. Again, we're not saying that sex is not profitable. We're just saying don't overlook the importance of emotional intelligence and emotional intimacy in exchange for sexual intimacy. Why they looking at me like that? Y'all can't see them.
When did we start talking about profitable? Like, what is this OnlyFans conversation we started having?
Man, I'm closing.
That is wow.
So remember, thank y'all for tuning in. Remember, as always, Black women,
we love you.
And Black men, we love you. And Black child, you are golden. So until next time, you guys, peace. And we'll see you next time, next week.
Profitable?
Stop aborting them goats.